Yeah.
Is mine messing up now? That's a bad juju to me.
Nope. Nope, nope, nope. That was the motor. Okay. Why is it bad juju?
The tape just wasn't working, and so mine wasn't.
So you're gonna have to go ahead and put a little bit of a to this, and then get the shell really hollowed out first. And as you do this, your margin might automatically get a little bit short. You know what? I'm gonna get rid of some of this little. It's a little bit sharp on your fingertips. So now, if you want to keep this until the end, will help you to remove the temporary with that almost like a little handle. So I'm not going to go ahead and remove that. But at the end, you need to go ahead and remember to do that. If you let your patient go with the button, I'll fail you. And most of the time, the premolar is the one that is a little bit longer than what it should be. So you need to go ahead and shorten that. But the first thing you want to do is to go ahead and thin out. All right. Let's see. Let's see if I am anywhere near. And this is with the clear one, and I use this one, huh?
It's okay.
Well, it's okay. I shortened it for you. So I'm going to go ahead and go back. So you can see. Now the clear one and this one has no difference. It's the same file. The way it's milled is the same way. So I went from this, right, to this, which is much closer than what it is. But not yet, because when you look at it, alignment on number 2 and number 3 is still tall, right? So you need to have a little bit of patience. At this point, you're gonna go ahead and look at it where I see my premolar is loose, and then the margin on my temporary is already on the outside. But on my molar, the margin on the buccal is hitting my prep already. So that means it's not going to go down, right? So that's where I need to go ahead and shorten the prep. Does it make sense? Yes? Not that one, the motor. So I am going to thin out that, and I'm going to reduce the margin just a little bit on the outside. And I'll give you another shell. And on the tissue, I'm going to go ahead and reduce that a little bit too, because I want the reline material to go ahead and give you my nice tissue contour. Okay, let's take a look. See, I am still touching, and then right now when I press down, my tissue is completely in contact with that, which probably is not the right contour anyway. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove some of the tissue to give me my true representation of the tissue that my patient had. So I'm gonna go ahead and put down. I'm gonna go ahead and reduce just a little bit more to get it down. So how much time you're gonna spend on doing this? Probably, if you don't have the practice, it will take you about 15 to 20 minutes. So be patient, do this right. Trust me, you're gonna go ahead and have a much less time trying to alter something later on. Okay, so this is the part that you wanna spend a little more time, make sure it's there before you start relining. Okay, so I'm looking at it like this. I like that. I want to go ahead and pass it along to see the height. Okay, so number 2, number 3 measures up. Number 5 is about a 2 millimeters shorter than number 6, right? So that's the alignment. So the important thing is you want to make sure the shell that you hollowed out has a little bit of a room, so the margin is not getting touched by your shell. Your shell is touching your prep. That means it doesn't matter how you reline it, that is not going to go down, right? So you need to go ahead and have the room to do that. So once that is done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pick a spot. That is the thinnest spot. It could be the lingual, it could be the buccal, or it could be the occlusal. Just put a little hole, so wherever the extra material is going to vent towards that, okay? While I'm waiting for this, let me see if I can hollow out this for you. Or do you want to do this on your own, Elsa?
You can do it.
Of course. I'll let everybody look at it because that's the part that we want to make sure you have the handle on, okay? So what did it take me, 5 minutes? All right. So, word of advice, the reason why I give you 2 shell is, why? Not just because I'm a nice person. Why do I give you a 2 shell? To practice. But if you take your time, figure it out, where you exactly reduced it, and how much you reduced it on the clear one. That means when you prep your tooth for your practical, you're not going to be that much different, right? Because right prep is a right prep. So you need to go ahead and learn from what you did. Where did I take off the most? On the buccal of number 5, on the buccal of number 3, or lingual of number 5, whatever have you. So that way, why don't you throw things at me? That way, oh, you didn't get to see it. Okay. That way you can go ahead and figure out where that is. So that is a time saver too. Does that make sense? Right? So you need to go ahead and kind of do the clear one and figure it out. How much of that buccal I reduced on number 5, how much of whatever that I reduced on number 3. Okay? So that way, all right. So let me go ahead and see this. Where is the thinnest part? I think it is on the occlusal portion. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a small little hole on the occlusal, which I don't think that is a small. Let me see what you got here. All right.
Oh, I have my...
To open up the hole, I think I can use this. Just a small little vent, so shouldn't be a big deal. Now, you don't want to use this to go ahead and hollow the entire lingual surface, but just to put a little vent, it's fine. All right? So, that is that. Now, where did I put the... I'm going to go ahead and switch to this one now. So, let's see. Do I like this? No, I still have a little bit of a contact on the buccal side on number 3, so I'm going to go ahead and thin it out just a little bit. So I want them. You guys don't like the foot pedal, huh? Every time you do something, you're going to have to push the button.
It takes a lot of
All right. So, next, what am I going to do? Vaseline. Make sure the patient's tooth has release. So I'm going to go ahead and put that Vaseline on the tissue nicely on the tooth. Now, you want to go ahead and have enough to prevent it provisional sticking to the patient's teeth and the tissue, but you don't want to go ahead and glob it on. When I say glob, it's like, this is what you do. Okay? No, thank you. You want to go ahead and use it. So it's the tissue-wise and the tooth-wise. The coverage is good, but it's not all over the place, right? So that's that. Now, on this one, if you have the liquid, you really don't need to. But just for the insurance, if you want to go ahead and add it just a little bit like this, you don't even have to express it. It'll stick to it. Okay, so this for 3 units might be a little bit more than I need. So I'm going to go ahead and just transfer a little bit less. Do I have a, yes, I'll use this, the back end of that. Okay, that should be enough to reline to. How much liquid and powder ratio? It's pretty much you're gonna have to kind of eyeball things. Now, this one is a little bit runny because if I do this, it runs right out, right? So you have a 2 choice. Wait just a little bit. Who has that patient? So I'm gonna just add a little bit of a powder. So that's the powder and liquid ratio. The way that you wanna do, if it is too runny, add a little bit of a powder. If it is too thick, add a little bit of the liquid. Now, this one I'm just going to wait just a little bit because it's almost there to the, so you don't want to go ahead and keep mixing and you're going to introduce a lot of a bubble. So the point, when you invert it, it comes out, but it's just not rushing out. That's all there is to it, okay? Because you need to go ahead and have that to go ahead. All right, so it's to the point that you have a little bit of a control. What to do? So I don't think I need it this much. I'm gonna go ahead and put it a little bit on the tissue side as well. I'm just gonna go ahead and burst that bubble. Once the sheen kind of goes away a little bit, right? That's about the time that you can go ahead and invert this. As I do this, it's not running out, isn't it? So that's about a good time, and then the sheen is going away. And that is what? At about a doughy stage. So we wanna go ahead and press down nicely, good contact. Don't sit there, just wait for this to dry. You wanna go ahead and use a little bit of an instrument. The gold instrument that you guys have in your fixed kit or the operative kit would be a good thing to do. The first thing you wanna go ahead and touch is the proximal surface. There's something else on there. Okay. The proximal surface of number 5, the mesial surface, because that is where you are going to get yourself stuck. And the proximal surface of number 3 on the distal, you want to go ahead and release. And take your time. It does take a little bit of a time to let it harden. So, and then you can see it's not stringy. It's about the right consistency where you can go ahead and handle the material. And making sure. So that is at that doughy stage, past that stringy stage, right? I'm gonna go ahead and put it there. So at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and wait just a little bit, just so I can be sure I can go ahead and remove the provisional, and then provisional is not stuck in between number 6 and number 2. Okay, like so. Now, because of the tissue, it's going to have a little bit of a bounce. So you need to go ahead and make sure you are registering the tissue to contour and letting it go ahead and get the margins right, like that. Okay? Now, let me go ahead and take it out. If it is really soft cheese stringy, I'm going to go ahead and put it right back. Yes, it is a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and put it right back. Now, you cannot dunk the patient into the hot water like this. Right? So you're going to have a little bit of a patience. In the clinic, it's much better because there's a body temperature and there's a saliva. It helps you to set faster than on a typodont. Okay? So can I have a little bit of a warm water, please? Once I take this out, I'm going to go ahead and put it in a little bit of a warm water.
I already finished.
This is not a race. This is not about the precision. Smarty pants. Okay, thank you. I bet he didn't hollow out. Okay, so now you can see, right? If your margin is clean, the margin is already on your prep and then on your temporary for you, so you don't have to go ahead and invent something. So, okay. Now this is warm, but it's not scalding, so I can go ahead and kind of put it there and wait, or if you can go ahead and use your hemostat, that is fine. Now, I'm not going to let it harden completely outside of the mouth because that will make it shrink, and then I probably will not be able to go ahead and go back in, all right? So you want to go ahead and put it there and just wait just a little bit. Now that you have confirmed that you can remove and there is no access between number 5 and number 3, that means you can go ahead and go in free. So you can go ahead and sit there and wait. In patient's mouth, you are going to use a little bit of a water syringe to go ahead and cool down the tooth. Depending on how much you have, depending on the thickness of your reline material, the tooth is going to start getting warm. Okay, so you need to go ahead and use a little bit of a water to cool the teeth down. All right, so that's I'm going to go ahead and put it there just for a few seconds. Where's your cotton plier or hemostat or anything?
Let's see.
Yes. Okay, so if you're gonna go ahead and grasp, you're gonna go ahead and grasp your pontic, right? Not the margin on your. So that's why if you have a little handle and you can go ahead and hold on to that little button on the handle too. All right, so let's go ahead and put it back in and make sure. I'm just checking for hardness, and on this, that on the occlusal, it's still a little stringy. So you're gonna have to have a little bit of a patience just to see, make sure. Now, let's check on the inside. Oh, it's getting there, but not quite. Back you go. Okay, so once that is done, then you have a couple things. I'm not gonna go ahead and do the margin because everybody should know by now what the margin should look like and how you do. As far as the embrasure, how much of the embrasure that you want to go ahead and free up, I'll just go ahead and show you. Once you free the embrasure in between number 4, 5, 3, and 4, then you can go ahead and use the Softflex disc to do the rest. So I'm going to go ahead and put this nicely there. So I don't. All right, put it back on. You see? That's still good. Let me go ahead and check. Make sure it's hardened. Yes. Okay. So, embrasure. So at this point, when I go ahead and put this back on, there is no embrasure form because it's really tight. At this point, good catch. So there's no embrasure, right, on the gingiva side. Okay. So if you let the patient go like this, how is patient going to get the floss threader between number 3 and number 5? You can't. So you're gonna go ahead and open it up. So I will go ahead and do that. Ah! I keep trying to press down the real set. Oh. Why make things much more difficult than it has to be? Time is money. You don't have time to be pushing buttons in your chair. Full pedal. Everybody can see what I'm doing there? How I'm opening up? Yes? Okay. So I'm going down towards the pontic first, and I'm just opening up a little bit of a trench, so to speak. And then I go towards the occlusal just a little bit. And open up just a little bit, and then making sure I'm not touching the margin on number 3, and just opening it up. If you make things nice and clean, and there's not much of the extra material along the occlusal surface, the occlusal embrasure, you probably don't even have to touch it. So I opened up the embrasure between 3 and 4. You want to go ahead and do the same thing between 4 and 5. Does that make sense? See how one is open, one is not open. So pass it along to see. Between number 3 and 4 is open. Between number 4 and 5 is not open. So that's about the amount that you want to open. And then you can go ahead and come with the soft flex disc to make sure the margin on number 3 mesial is nicely defined, and then go around on the other surfaces to define the margin. And how much time did it take me?
20 minutes.
20 minutes? Okay, I give you 3 hours.
And then you get
So,
Yeah, but it takes you 20 minutes to do this. It probably takes me 40 to do this.
okay, see? You can do it. So that's why I give you 3 hours. So there's no excuse why you cannot make it, right? Got it?
you already finished.
Yeah, but no, not the whole side, just one side. But you need to go ahead and make sure the margin is there. Now, do you want to see how the margin is done? If you have a slight bit of open margin, you cannot reline this with your flowable. You know that, right? You can only reline with the like material. So you want me to go ahead and show you, pretend there's an open margin, how to do it like salt and pepper technique? Okay. When that comes around, I'll do the salt and pepper technique.
Wait, so Dr. You from 3 to 4, that's finished? Like,
Now, embrasure, yes, but I didn't do the margin,
Okay, yeah.
right? And then you do the same thing between 4 and 5, and then you do the margin. And then come back, look at it, make sure the margin is all closed. If you find, oh, margin is open, now I'm gonna go ahead and fix just a little bit of a margin. The salt and pepper technique is not the technique you use. You wanna go ahead and do all 360 degrees. It's too much. It's too time consuming. So if you have a proximal area, if you have on a small little scale, buccal margin is open, then you can go ahead and use the salt and pepper technique just to go ahead and seal that margin, okay? Now, in order to do that, I like to invert a cup and then put a little bit of a powder on this side because I'm doing it just a little bit. Ooh, can I have a 2x2? That's fine. You need to go ahead and keep this clean. You've got.
I tried last time I used it, I could not get it off.
Okay, I'll keep.
How do you recommend taking that off? Acetone?
No. Alcohol a little bit, and then I'll give you another one. So you need to go ahead and make sure it's clean
We have.
right after you finish, okay?
this is 2 practices in one section.
All right. So I'm gonna
We
go
do the
ahead.
prep in one, and then the provisional in another. So you have,
Yes.
you have 6 hours technically.
Oh, thank you. All right. So when I'm doing this, let's say I notice there's a, oh, let's go ahead and do the proximal contact. Right? So the proximal contact on this one is
Yeah,
not
you
that
bring back prep in one,
well defined.
and then the next
And-
week you do the provisional.
I see, oh, it's open. So I'm gonna go ahead and add. So that is the same as in you are trying to add a margin. So you add a little bit of the powder along where you wanna have whatever the defect fixed, and add a little bit of a liquid. Clean it up. Liquid. Powder. You want to just go ahead and take a small little bite at a time. And if you want to go ahead and spread it, pick up a little bit of a liquid and spread it. Same thing. You want to wait until the sheen kind of goes away. If you go ahead and put this spread back, it'll just go all over the place, right? So
So this is because the shell didn't have contacts.
the shell didn't have a contact. Most of the time, you're not going to have a contact, so you're going to have to go ahead and make one, right? So this is a good way of doing it. I'm going to go ahead and put it back. All right, so now I have a contact. In that, I'm going to use my brush to just kind of spread. So if you know how to handle the property of this reline material, it has a lot of different things that you can go ahead and do. Okay? The same way, if you have open margin, that's how you can go ahead and reline. All right, or redo. Now, so now the contact is there. Okay? So you want to go ahead and put it in water, let it sit. That is fine. So the bottom line is take a little bit of a liquid, put it where you want to put it, and then you go ahead and pick up a little bit of a powder, and then put it there. A little bit of a liquid, spread it around. A little bit of a powder and a little bit of a liquid. spread it around. So that's why the brush is so small. So for the minute areas that you want to go ahead and precisely place what you need to go ahead and place. Yes? Okay, good. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put this back. Now I have created a contact. Yes? All right, so, okay, this is mine. I'll give you a new one. You're gonna have to do it on your own.
Thanks, Dr.
Yeah.